Hi, you guys. Happy Halloween. It's October 31st. And this year for Halloween, I'm going as a psychic who lives in a cabin. That's my costume. What do you think? Pretty good, right? So, you guys, I was expecting to pop online today and see a lot more Halloween stuff, Halloween memes and Halloween this and that. And I popped on today, and what did I find? I found lots and lots of super scary posts, but they were all about this upcoming election. And you have no idea how disappointed I was about that, you guys, because I love Halloween. I mean, it's this thin ether time frame, and you can feel the other side, and your pets are probably squirrely. My dogs were off the hook last night. Oh my God, they kept me up all night. But it's part of where we're at. So there's a lot of folks out there right now who I think the Halloween spookiness for most people that I'm seeing online anyway, across the political spectrum, is this election. Like, everybody is so flipped out about this election. And, that's scarier than Halloween, quite frankly. And it's not that, yes, there are lots of things at stake, and certain people believe if Kamala Harris is in, that's the end of the world. Certain people believe if Trump gets in, it's the end of the world. You guys, the last time I did a presidential prediction video was on Hillary Clinton. And what I learned from that is that I didn't understand what energies to try to read at that time. I just was kind of innocently looking into where this expulsion of American need or want would be. And I saw this big, overwhelming splash toward her. And that just meant she won in my mind, right? Because isn't that what energy is? And she did win. She won the popular vote, but she did not win the presidency. So I learned something really valuable about energy discernment when you're dealing with 300 some odd million people and a system that's got its own consciousness, right? So our electoral system has its own consciousness. It's pretty amazing. So I've been distilling this process over the years. And when it came time to be Biden and Trump, I felt out into things like energies of the Electoral College, energies of certain counties that would make up need. Because when you're looking at voting, you guys, you got to look at the expulsion of need from a person. That's how it shows up on my radar. And some people just vote because they don't really care, but most people need something, whatever it is, from a particular presidency, or they wish for something. So I'm keeping it super simple, but I look for need. So this year, as I'm looking into it, we're looking into where is the greatest expulsion of energy towards counties that make up and states that make up the Electoral College, which would, of course, lead to a presidential win. Because I wasn't looking at that with Hillary. I was just looking at where's the excitement, where is the heart, where is the need overall. That's a popular vote win. That's not necessarily an Electoral College win. So as I've been looking at this, first of all, yes, there are big things at stake in this election across the board, yet being hysterical about it doesn't help, A. B, when I look into this from an energetic standpoint, guys, and we all know I typically vote Democrat. I think I'm pretty transparent about that. I would actually vote for a really socially mellow Republican that was not stomping on top of everybody's rights and trying to take everybody's choices out and doing all this weird religious stuff. And to me, that's not the role of government. So that's a little odd. But if there was just some socially mellow fiscal conservative that was a really great person and just wanted to make sure we didn't overspend, that would be somebody I would actually take a look at. That's not who we have this election. So I typically vote Democrat because of these reasons. So now we got that out of the way. All right. So what I'm trying to say here is that the energies of what I'm looking at this time around are not really supporting the old world. Okay. And what we've got is we've got two different campaigning styles going on. Neither one are particularly super positive. One is super negative. One is, and if people believe in these things for the one, it doesn't seem as negative to them. For others who don't see the world quite like that, it seems very extreme. So it's interesting that these energies are going off and same. You know, people are looking at Kamala Harris's campaign. A lot of people who are Trump supporters going, God, that's just so exclusive and weird and culty and negative. You guys, we all have our lens, okay? So I'm not here to talk about lenses. I'm here to talk about energies with 300 and some million people in America. Now, with this election, I don't see that former President Trump has the same, I have to be real careful how I say this, support in ways that he did in 2016. That support wasn't there for him. We'll call it that extra support. That extra support wasn't there for him in 2020. And he was the incumbent. So he lost as the incumbent in 2020. And now he's making up, you know, he's doing it again, and anybody's allowed to run for president. So welcome to America. I'm not seeing that support retread itself, especially the extra support he had in 2016. So we've got less support for him energetically than we did in 2020. And so I'm not saying people aren't going to vote for him. I have beloved people in my life that are going to vote for Donald Trump. So I do know a lot of Trump voters. What I'm saying is overall, when I look into the Electoral College spread of things, it does not look like his particular influences these areas. Now, I'm a little confused because we've got some news outlets here that are saying this election is really close, and maybe it is. I mean, I think we could probably all say, Danielle, don't quit your day job on presidential predictions, okay? But what I'm not seeing here, guys, is the ability for former President Trump to draw in new voters. That's not what I'm seeing the energy of. And, you know, regrettably, because there's been a lot of indictments, there's been a lot of convictions, there has been a lot of just really strange, for those of us that don't see the world in the way that he sees the world, just some really odd things that a person running for president would experience. And I know there's many of you out there that believe that's all fake. And I'm not going to try to change your mind on that. What I'm saying is, for those of us that don't believe it's fake, it looks odd and disturbing. And so what I'm seeing is that there is more of an energy towards that's just too weird to deal with. So it doesn't look like the votes are going in that direction, especially in some of these swing states. So even though our media is saying that we have this very close election, and every single person needs to vote, guys. You know, I talk to these younger people, and what I've been saying to them, I recently found out, is what President Obama has been saying to people. And that is that if you don't vote, I mean, that's your right not to. But if you don't vote and you're a younger person, you're letting old people decide your country for you. I mean, you wouldn't let old people decide what music you're going to listen to, or what kind of car you're going to buy, or what kind of social groups you're going to hang with, or what kind of clothes you should wear, or what kind of job you should have. So why the heck are you letting old people decide the type of environment socially and economically that you want your country to be? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, and I talk to a lot of young people, they'll vote for bans online. I literally saw a video of former President Barack Obama talking all about this exact same thing, and I about fell off my chair. I was like, oh my God, that's what I've been saying. So if you're somebody who's like, I don't like either choice, I don't want to do it, I don't like them, it's not American Idol, you guys. You're not voting for the singer whose voice is best. You are voting for not just the person, but you're voting for the energy they're bringing forward. You're voting for the world that they're saying they want to make. And so it's important that we get involved, okay? And this is for everybody. I'm sure there's some of you on the fence who wouldn't vote for Kamala Harris. Go vote anyway. And I know that's going to make everybody mad who doesn't want Trump to win, but it's our American right to vote, you guys. And democracy is not an autopilot state. Democracy is a group participation sport, okay? And if we don't participate, it doesn't work. We can't just kick back and say, well, I just don't want to deal with it. You can, but I don't want to hear one of you bitching, not one of you who didn't vote. I don't want to hear one of you bitching. If there are policies that come down from the top that are so wonky that it changed the country in such a way that you're like, what the hell is this? You had an opportunity to have your voice heard. And please don't get sucked into all that weird stuff. That actually was a Russian disinformation campaign that started in the 80s, well, actually late 70s into the 80s, which was, your vote doesn't matter. Your vote doesn't matter. Poor Russia has, God, they're brilliant over there, has been working to destabilize our democratic process for a long time. So now 40 years later, we've got a lot of people who just believe your vote doesn't matter. Yes, there are areas of the country who have been so gerrymandered to death that we can hardly get our brain around what actually is happening in those counties. That's going to change in the next 4 years, guys. All of that is going to change. And of course, we are a country that affects the earth economically, socially, spiritually. We affect the entire earth. So of course, there's people who want to control that, guys. So of course, people try to control elections. However, let's get back to this election cycle. All right. I'm just not seeing the energy in the places that would elect the president going for former President Trump. And it's not that anybody's cheating him out of an election. It's just that normal people across the country who did vote Republican are not liking what he's saying and standing for. So there's a lot of people who voted for him before who won't be voting for him again. There's a lot of people coming out who see what he's doing as harmful. 81 million people voted for Biden. And a majority of those people, if not all of those people, are going to turn around and vote for Harris. So Biden beat Trump in 2020. His people are going to, majority of them vote for Harris. And that's if we vote. We've got to get out and vote. You can't just stay home like the 2016 election and hope it works itself out. It's not going to do that. Democracy, participation sport. Hello. So, guys, here's what I would tell you. If Donald Trump wins this election, then there's an energy I'm not seeing that I need to learn about. Okay. Just like happened with Hillary. What I'm aware of to look for does not look favorable for Trump. No matter if everybody who supports him gets out and votes, there's just too many new people coming on board going, this has just gone too far. The rhetoric has gone too far. The cat lady thing, the feeling of it, and whether or not people want to believe those things are true. I'm just talking about energies and perception. The perception is overall, even though lots of people are going to vote for Donald Trump, that doesn't fit the world that we're moving into. Now, if he wins, then okay, he wins. So those of us who didn't vote for him, we're going to go on in our life. We're going to build the great communities we want to. We're going to try to still get this beautiful, joyful, hopeful energy out that we all believe in. His supporters will be happy, so maybe there'll be some calming down in that camp. But I'm just not seeing it. And again, I could be wrong. I was wrong in 2016. I could be wrong. Yet, one thing I will tell you to watch are these polls. Okay, watch the polls. I work in media, and you can poll anybody, guys. You can pull numbers from anywhere to create something. It's to both parties' advantage if this looks like a close race. And I'm not saying Kamala Harris is just going to wipe the floor with Donald Trump. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's to both parties' benefit to make this look like a close election. That's where you get your fundraising dollars, pouring in at the last minute. And I think in certain parts of the country, it's going to be close. You know, I live in Montana. We have, 2 or 4 whole electoral votes. We're not a swing state. They're pouring tons of money, the Republican Party, into our state to make sure that John Tester is not reelected. I'm looking at those energies around, and John Tester does still appear to come out ahead. He squeaks by every year. It looks like Tim Sheehy just cannot get enough support. A lot of it due to some, what I'm seeing here is just discrepancy over his military injuries and things like that. So it looks like Tester just squeaks it out again. That's what he does every year. He squeaks it out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But guys, the biggest message here is fear. If you want Kamala Harris to win and you're voting for Kamala Harris, vote for Kamala Harris and go be joyful in your day. If you want Donald Trump to win and you vote for Donald Trump, go be joyful in your day. Because unless something comes down the pike, like a Supreme Court changing a determination in votes, which I do not see at this time would be something that would happen, they're going to fall the way they fall, guys. And yes, in every election, there's always some weird noodling as long as we can go back. But the fraud that former President Trump has tried to assert happened, guys, it just didn't go down like that. There's noodling a little always in every election since the beginning of time in America, but not to the degree that former President Trump has brought out. So I would just tell you guys this. You got to vote for who you believe in. But the fear is unnecessary. That's not going to help anything, no matter who becomes president. If we stay fearful and crazy, there are campaigns outside of this country that want us to stay fearful and crazy, guys. They have nothing to do with America. They want us to destabilize and fight with each other. That's a thing, all right? So I'm not going to go down that road. And of course, my personal hope is that Kamala Harris becomes our first female president, our first Black Asian president. I think that would really send an incredible message about the melting pot of America to the whole world. And, that's my hope, but we'll see. The numbers are looking like that's going to happen. We'll see. Like I said, there could be some other energy out there that I'm not picking up on. And I have looked into this election for noodling energy, cheating energy. And I just see the normal amount. I see there's a little extra here and there, hoping that certain areas can make up for a candidate who might not do so well over there. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But it doesn't really affect the overall turnout and numbers. They're just too great here. So can we just calm down, please? And I'm just waiting to get hammered on this video about what the hell do you know? You freaking picked the wrong president in 2016. F you. I left that video up predicting for Hillary. I left it up because guess what? I said that. And I have to stand by the things I say, guys, or I have no integrity in this field. And there were dozens and dozens of other psychics in my field who predicted for Hillary. They saw the same thing I did. This great expulsion of want and need. And they took their videos down immediately. And I remember thinking, do you think people didn't see you say that, man? Everybody saw you say that. And I left mine up. It's still up on YouTube if you want to talk about how I looked at all those timelines and there was no way in hell from what I was looking at, from the energies I was surveying, that Trump was going to get in. I missed some pretty important energies in that. I learned a lot from that. But I left that video up because I said it. I did have to disable the comments though, because I had a lot of people giving me death threats and fighting and claiming they were going to, it was bad. So I disabled the comments, but the video is still there. So I'm leaving this video up no matter who the heck wins because it's what I'm seeing. And if I can't stand by what I'm seeing and learn from it, I'm of no use to you guys and I'm of no use to myself. So please get out, exercise your right in democracy, vote, try to have a fun and safe Halloween, try to not make the election the biggest specter that you're going to have here. And let's all just go back to being kind Americans again, all right? And if there are those of you that want to rage and put other people down, and I get there's a lot of fear and I get there's a lot of anger over the last many years for what's come out in our country. This ugliness has been here since we founded this country, guys. Since we rolled in genocide from coast to coast, guess what we created? Only we can come together and make a difference in how we go forward. Only we can. So vote for who you want to vote for. I'm certainly hoping Kamala Harris wins. I'm seeing she's going to win. However, maybe I missed something. So she only wins if we vote. And Trump can only win if you vote. So let's all participate in democracy. And let's all go back to being the best of who we are to build a better world forward. Because the 30-second ending here is that we're going to be encountering climate crises. We're going to be encountering financial crises. We're going to be encountering all kinds of crises that the good old conquest American model of the Copper Kings, trickle down, is not going to solve. We're going to have to work with one another on this. And I know lots and lots of incredible Republicans out there that I would love to work with who are a little disillusioned with how cray-cray all things have gotten. And I know lots of great Democrats out there who would love to work with everybody and have also gotten a little off-put by how crazy everything has gotten. So let's remember that a majority of us, the vast, vast energetic majority, just want something great for this country, like you and me, okay? So cast your votes. Try not to lose your mind. If your guy doesn't win here, or your gal. But like I said, I'm looking at different energies and it's looking like Harris pulls this off. So we'll see. However, remember to be kind. Remember to be good. Because no president should decide how you're acting. That's weird, man. Let's not scare ourselves like that this Halloween. Have a safe and happy Halloween, you guys. We'll see after Election Day. We'll see what happens.